Today's story is about two men in Canada who met by chance. At first, things seemed great. They got along quickly and became very close friends. But over time, it turned out that each of them was hiding a dangerous secret. In the end, those secrets were revealed, and everything changed. But before we start the story, if you love real, mysterious, and strange true stories told in a narrative way, then you're in the right place. So if that sounds like you, please subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications so you never miss a new video. Also, there are Apple gift cards and Fortnite V-Bucks hidden in the video, check them out. It was late 2003. A 22-year-old man named Michael Bridges was sitting in the stands of an ice hockey arena in the Canadian city of Kingston. He couldn't believe it, he was overjoyed. He'd won a golden ticket to attend this big match. Michael lived in a city called Brandy, about 1,127 kilometers away, also in Canada. He'd had terrible luck the year before, lost his job, his friends drifted away, and he went through a tough financial time. But now, something finally went right. He'd won this trip and ticket in a lottery, and for the first time in a long while, he felt happy again. While sitting in the stands with a beer in his hand, a chubby man with a mustache sat down beside him, smiling. He said excitedly, "I can't believe I'm here. I won this ticket in the same lottery." Michael laughed and said, "No way, me too." Michael, who had been lonely and without friends for a long time, was thrilled to finally have someone to talk to. And the other man seemed to feel the same. From that moment, the two became fast friends. Brooke was dressed simply, but he was like a millionaire. Mike didn't have enough money to pay for the drinks. He was embarrassed that Brooke had to pay. Then, Michael told Brooke he didn't want to go back home to Brandon. He was enjoying his time there and didn't want to return to his lonely life. Brooke looked at him with surprise and said, "Really? That's great. I actually have a job near Brandon." Michael was thrilled. He'd found not only a new friend but also a possible opportunity. Brooke offered to help him find an apartment and even a decent job. 2 months later, in early 2003, Brooke moved to Brandy, just as promised. He even found a job for Michael. But soon, Michael realized that the job wasn't what he thought it would be. Brooke asked him to deliver sealed packages and warned him, "Whatever you do, don't open them." Michael became suspicious. The work seemed illegal. But he remembered how much money Brooke threw around at the nightclub and thought maybe this was his way to escape poverty. So, he decided to keep quiet and do it. He started delivering packages regularly, always without opening them, just as he'd been told. But deep down, he felt trapped, something wasn't right. Then one day, Brooke asked him to make another delivery. Michael agreed, though he felt uneasy. While driving together, Brooke got a phone call. From the way he spoke, Michael realized it was his boss. Brooke's face suddenly went cold, serious. He said on the phone, "Yes, sir. I'll take care of it now." He hung up and immediately turned the car around, driving fast in the opposite direction. After a few minutes, they pulled into the parking lot of a small motel. Michael, confused, asked, "What are we doing here?" Brooke didn't answer. He just said, "Wait here," and went to knock on one of the motel doors. A woman opened it. She looked shocked to see Brooke. She tried to close the door, but Brooke forced it open. They started arguing loudly. Michael couldn't hear what they were saying, but he saw everything. Then, to his horror, Brooke punched the woman hard in the face. She fell to the ground. Brooke got on top of her and kept hitting her until her face was covered in blood. Michael was frozen. He couldn't move or speak. When Brooke was done, he calmly closed the door, walked back to the car, sat down, and said nothing. The entire ride home was silent. Michael realized then that Brooke was involved with something far worse than illegal deliveries. And because Michael was part of the operation, he was now a partner in Brooke's crimes. When they arrived, Brooke looked at him and said coldly, "Do you want to tell anyone about this?" Michael shook his head. "No, I don't." A week later, Brooke called again. Michael didn't want to answer, but finally he did. Brooke offered him another job, another delivery. Michael wanted to refuse, but he was scared. He'd seen what Brooke was capable of. So he agreed. Over the next few months, things seemed calm again. They even met for lunch sometimes. Brooke always paid. Then one day, Brooke told him something new. He said, "The boss is impressed with you. He wants to meet you." Michael felt nervous but excited. Maybe this meant a promotion, more money. But Brooke added, "Before you meet him, you need to prove yourself. Show him you're really one of us, that you can handle what we handle." Michael didn't fully understand what Brooke meant, but before he could ask, he remembered something dark from his own past, a horrible secret. He decided to tell Brooke about it, thinking it would prove his loyalty. He confessed, 2 years earlier, when his girlfriend Erin Shortney tried to leave him, he lost control and strangled her until she passed out. Then he buried her body near his house. Brooke's eyes widened as Michael told the story. When he finished, Brooke said calmly, "You're ready. You'll meet the boss soon." A few days later, they met at a luxury hotel in a nearby city. Brooke led him to a grand suite. It was completely empty. Michael asked, "Where's the boss?" Brooke replied, "He'll be here soon. The boss doesn't wait for anyone, people wait for him." As they waited, Brooke told Michael to rehearse his story one more time. He said, "I want you to tell it just like that when the boss arrives. Don't sound nervous. If you do, he might think you're lying." So Michael started retelling the story. But just as he finished, there was a knock at the door. Brooke smiled. "He's here. Ready?" "Ready," Michael said. Brooke opened the door, and Michael froze. It wasn't the boss, it was a team of Canadian police officers. Michael finally realized the truth. He had fallen into a trap. Everything, the lottery, the meeting, the deliveries, even the violent scene at the motel, had been a carefully staged police operation. The packages contained nothing illegal, just flour. The woman at the motel was an actress, and the blood was fake. Brooke wasn't a criminal at all, he was an undercover police officer. They had been investigating Michael all along, hoping he would confess to the real crime he'd committed years earlier. And he did, on hidden camera, in that hotel suite. Michael Bridges was arrested on the spot for the murder of Erin Shortney. His confession was recorded on video and audio, and police later found Erin's remains exactly where he said they were. He was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole. And that's the shocking story of Michael Bridges, a lonely man whose attempt to find friendship and fortune led him straight into a trap of his own making.